Hi, welcome back to the podcast, Fundraising Unfiltered. Hi, I'm your host, Danielle Locke of Lockstep Partners. All right, today I want to talk about technology. And I'm not a super techie person. I never have been, but I certainly have embraced the technology and definitely AI in helping me to be more productive, to get more done in less time, right? And I know that's certainly something that you can use as you live in the world of do more with less. All right. So let's jump right in. I'm going to do a quick overview of some of the things that you can do to help you get more done in the day, right? And maybe have a little time for yourself. So first and foremost, easy peasy, Google quick keys. These are Control P for print, Control I for italics. My newest favorite one, Control Z for undo, Shift Control V for special paste, right? We use that one a lot. We don't want it to be formatted. So quick keys can save you just seconds to minutes. So definitely look those up. Meeting note takers. That is without a doubt, the biggest game changer for me in the last year is using an AI note taker. And there are many of them that are free, right? You could use Fathom, you could use fireflies.ai. I personally use one called Circleback, and it does have a cost. It's $25 a month right now. But I just find it to be incredibly accurate. There's certainly misspellings and some inaccuracies, but what I get back is a great summary, a list of action steps, a list of attendees, just within seconds of my call ending. I have it join all of my Zoom calls. Within seconds of ending that call, I get an email summary, like I said, with action items and to-dos and notes and summaries of what transpired in that call, as well as a full transcript, which I then can turn around and send to my clients. So it saves me, especially when I'm doing coaching, tons of time and energy putting together all of those notes to return back to my clients so that we can continue making progress. So if there's one thing you do, the AI note taker would definitely be something that I highly suggest. File sharing and management. Many of the nonprofits that I work with are not using anything like OneDrive or Dropbox or Google Drive to share documents. So they're still doing that thing where they're creating documents and they're emailing them, and then someone changes it and they send them another version back. And then a few weeks later, you're not sure which is the version that was correct, whose version is the most up-to-date version. And so it's important, I think, and it's really super easy. And of course, it's free through Google. I like Google Drive because it's just like a share drive, or, your folders on your computer where you can make different folders and you can control who has access to those folders. And then you can share links to those documents or to folders so that when you're making changes in a document, particularly in Word or Excel, I'll share a link to that document in an email to my client. They'll go in and make their changes, or we can even be in the same document at the same time and looking at each other making their edits. But certainly it's a live document. It's always the most recent. And then you know that all the changes are in the same place. With so much turnover happening in nonprofits, it's a great way to make sure that you're capturing that information, that that document is being saved in a shared place that everyone has access to, regardless of when they come and go to the organization, as opposed to being stuck on somebody's hard drive or in their personal drive. Keep it in the same place so that you all can access it. Another thing I see a lot with nonprofits related to technology, and again, I'm the relationship person. I'm all about nonprofits, individuals building relationships with their donors, connecting them to the mission and to the purpose. But also, I think it starts and ends with good data. And your donor management system, or often referred to as a CRM, a client relation management system, is, if you're not doing anything, it's an Excel spreadsheet that just lists your donors and how much they've given and when they gave to what campaign or event, where they live, things like that. But there are many tools that are inexpensive that both allow you to process transactions, so allow donors to make online donations, which is really, in this day and age, incredibly important for you to have access, have capacity to do. And many nonprofits that come to me don't have that baseline. So we get them into a system, we get them set up. One of my favorite tools is Little Green Light, often referred to as LGL. And that is a low cost. We're talking about a couple $100 a year for you to be able to process transactions. And it has this incredible robust back end that allows you to have donor profiles, track your relationships, even track your communications with donors, get to know them, track details about them, where they live, where their Florida address, their children's names, their grandchildren's names, where they went to college, all kinds of things that are important when you're building an authentic relationship with someone. So it's certainly important to get into a system. Message me and I'll give you a few other recommendations, but that certainly is something that I would start earlier rather than later so that you can start building in those details about individuals and you can jumpstart your relationship building with them. Project management and communication, you'll see a lot of those. Again, these are low cost tools, but things like Asana, Trello, Monday.com, these are systems that you create a task or a project in, and you assign that project to somebody or assign that task to somebody, and then you can communicate right in that task. You can see how it's progressed. You can see where they're at with getting it done. You can reassign it to other people. There's just so much value in it. And I know as nonprofit people, we excel at keeping it all up in our heads, but it's important as you grow and you bring other people in to help you that you have a clear picture of who's doing what and where things are at. Because so many times things fall off our radar, they fall behind, and we want to make sure that everything is getting done. And so I highly recommend some sort of project management tool. All right. So now to the big one, talking about AI. We talked a little bit about AI note takers, but I am a huge fan. I use ChatGPT every single day. I just went to a seminar on using Google's Gemini, which has an incredible amount of capacity. You also have Microsoft version, which is Copilot. All of these have free versions, but the free versions will have limitations. Suffice to say, actually, I think Gemini is 100% free. But you want to create an account so that it can get to know you and it can keep track of everything you've done. You can go back and you can reference other sessions that you've had. It's a learning vehicle and not in a creepy way, right? Like the first thing I want to say about AI, about using something like ChatGPT is, you don't put your personal financial information in there. Don't use it for research or some sort of research study or research facts. I use it personally to help jumpstart writing letters, emails, appeal letters, grants, grant narratives, grant budgets. But you just have to make sure if you use it for something like a grant budget that you go back and you verify all your numbers because it does get glitchy and make some mistakes. So you definitely want to check your numbers. But I think we're so busy and we have so many things that we're doing at once that when it comes to being creative like that, it's hard, at least for me, to sit down and go, okay, I need to think about this grant. I need to think about a narrative. I need to think about how does it all tie together. And really, it's so much easier if I can plug it all into ChatGPT, tell it to write a grant. It'll do an amazing job, right? You can give it the template that came from the funder, and then you go in and you massage it and you make it your own and you double check all the numbers, make sure that it's accurate, move things around, but it gives you, 75% head start on getting these things done. And it can do so many other things. It can help you plan vacations. It can help you compare products. It can help you look at financial data in a different way. There's so much that you can do. And I know that, again, this is maybe something new that you're unsure of and nervous about, but I definitely want to encourage you to pick one, give it a try, start playing with it a little bit. And it's a muscle. It's a muscle that you start to use like anything else. And I guarantee you, you will find that there's so much that you can do. You can get so much more done and maybe have a little bit more free time. And AI is here to stay. It's certainly not going away. So I encourage you, even if you're not techie like me, that you start to play with it a little bit and start to use it to make your emails sound better or come up with a new idea for an appeal. When I use ChatGPT, I'll put write me an appeal letter for this organization and I'll copy paste the website in there and it'll give me some different ideas. There's so much that you can do with it. All right. So that is it for today. Thank you for joining me on our podcast, Fundraising Unfiltered. I'm your host, Danielle Locke. I'm a nonprofit success partner. Check me out at lockstep.com. That's LOCKESTEP.com. And we are here to help you raise more and do more and stress less. All right. Have a great one.